Becca Dee. And my first question to you is, what is ASMR? What is it
Um,
for you?
well, it stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, which I know, like, that doesn't make any sense to you probably because it's just a bunch of scientific sounding words. But it's basically a reaction that certain people have when they hear certain stimuli. And it's not always auditory, sometimes it is a visual, like, I have experienced it from seeing something, but just normally it's from hearing something. So, a lot of common triggers are like whispering, or maybe like tapping on something, or eating, or chewing gum, or like scratching, different materials, stuff like that. So, basically, what happens when people hear these sounds is it triggers this weird tingling feeling on the top of their heads that goes, sometimes like down your neck. And it's a very pleasant feeling, and it's really relaxing, and it makes you sleepy. A lot of the times it makes you sleepy. Some people say sometimes it makes them more alert. And I've heard some people say they listen to ASMR when they're doing their work. Personally, I don't see myself ever doing that because it always makes me sleepy. Um, but it can be a really powerful sleep aid for people with insomnia, or just people who are like stressed out and need to relax at the end of the day. But I know that it also has really helped people who have different like mental health problems, who have anxiety, who have depression, and just, personally, like, I've had a lot of anxiety problems in my life, and I've tried lots of different things. I've been on medication and, yoga and all that stuff. And, that stuff definitely helps. But ASMR has been like really a lifesaver for me in that department. So, yeah, it's pretty great. So basically, there's an entire community of people on YouTube who make these videos, like myself and people like you who watch these videos. And it's a really like great community of people. Everybody is like really supportive and welcoming and nice, and it's like it's awesome.
Yeah, it was shocking
uh,
for me that it exists.
oh, I know. It blew my mind.
Mm.
I can tell you the exact moment that I found it. I remember the first video that really gave me ASMR that I would obsessively watch. And it's this little girl, this little French girl telling a story. She's speaking in French, so I don't know what she's saying, but she's telling a story. And when I was in high school, I would watch it over and over again because my French teacher showed it to us. And I would get a crazy ASMR response from it, but I didn't know what it was. So I would watch it before bed all the time because it made me so sleepy. And I was like, what the hell? I just kind of thought I was crazy. Like, I thought something was wrong with me. And then I think watching that video and then also watching like makeup tutorials somehow led me into the ASMR part of YouTube. And I think probably the first person that I watched was Maria Gentle Whisperings, and it was mind blown. I was mind blown. And then, you know, the rest is history.
Mm. Funnily enough, Maria was my first too. I popped my
I,
cherry with her.
yeah, I
It's
feel like
it's it's the Russian.
yes.
I don't like it when she speaks English.
Yeah, I do like the Russian a lot, and I just like her accent.
Mm.
And it's also just like her demeanor. I feel like it's not just about the voice only, it's about the person's personality and their quirks and just things they do, and how the way in which they speak, and if they're really like caring and sweet, you know what I mean? It's like all of those things combined.
Our our take on it is it's an authenticity thing. There's a lot of people who are doing the videos and it's just cringy. I just want them to stop. It's like they're going for a response. I want to do this. I'm going to do this role or whatever. And
Hmm.
then there's other people like yourself who's just getting in a certain zone and bringing it forward, and I just
Mhm.
find myself just kind of disappearing into it.
Mhm. I totally agree with that. And I mean, yeah, like people who really show their personality, like very Charlotte, I love her because she's just so genuine, and you can tell that she just genuinely cares about everyone who watches her videos, wants them to be happy, and she shows her personality. Like people who are just real, and you notice little mannerisms and things they say. Like it just, if it seems super fake, like if it's just someone tapping on something for a half hour, I'm like, it's not that great for me.
Yeah, I've taken to editing everything. So I'll record an MP3 of one of the videos and then go
Mhm.
into Ableton Sound Suite and just remove all the little chunks of crinkling paper and tapping.
That's so funny. That's a good
Yeah,
idea. That's so funny.
it's a little bit OCD, but I'm listening to it when I go to bed, and then suddenly there's crinkling paper, and I'm just want to kill something. I'm
I
like in
know.
this beautiful space.
I know. I think some people who make videos, they don't watch them after they record them. They just like record them and then they post it, and they don't like. I made a makeup roleplay video the other day, which I've never made before, and I never realized how loud the brush sounds are.
Mm.
It doesn't sound loud when you're doing it, but on the camera, it's like it's this horribly loud noise. So I had to turn the volume down a ton because I was like, I'm gonna scare the crap out of everybody if I leave it this high. So you gotta listen to your videos before you post them.
Yeah, it's a big one. What do you feel about you're getting into very intimate places with people? I know you're not physically present, but
Mm-hmm.
like for instance, you're in my room like 2 or 3 nights a week in my ear while I'm falling to sleep. It's like it's personal, right? Is it
Yeah.
weird for you?
I I don't really think about it, to be honest with you. I guess if I really started thinking about it, it would be kind of like a mind blower, you know what I mean? But I just don't. I don't know. I guess because I was talking to my boyfriend about this the other day, and he asked me how many subscribers I had right now, and I said I don't know, 4,700 or something like that, and I was like, it's not a lot, like comparatively to a lot of other, you know, a lot of other people. But he was like, imagine 4,700 people in a stadium. That's a ton of people. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of scary when you put it like that. But I mean, it's I don't know, it's kind of nice just because I used to really want to be a therapist. I've always felt the need to help people and stuff like that. But I started majoring in psychology in college, and then I was like, this is not for me. I'm a really sensitive person, and I'm really easily affected by other people's emotions. So I just was like, I can't do it. So, but I still do something to like help people because I've, suffered through like, a lot of depression and stuff like that. And I know what it's like. And I just like feel a really strong urge to help people. So doing this and like knowing, that I can help people calm down and fall asleep. And some people have said to me, you're the only thing that helps me if I'm having a panic attack or like blah, blah, blah. Like it is super intimate. Like it's like very fulfilling for me. Like it makes me super happy.
Mm. I know the guy I live with is he's listening to it. He's just putting it with on his phone by his head on the pillow.
Mm,
And he said it's not necessarily the A.S.M.R trigger for him, but he's just got this soft whispering, and it feels like he's got someone with him. Like the presence makes him feel kind of secure.
mm-hmm.
It's an amazing thing, really. That it still blows my mind. I go in, I put in a search A.S.M.R, and there's these thousands and thousands of things, and there's little Korean girl eating jelly, and I'm sitting there listening to her for 20 minutes, and I'm going, "What is this?"
I know. Yeah, I've had like those moments of like, wow, if I wasn't used to this, if I was like another person looking at myself doing this, I'd be like, what the hell are you doing? What? Like and when people make fun of it, I'm like, I get it because it seems so bizarre to people. Yeah, I feel like I always end up watching. I really like girls like who are Korean who speak Japanese or speak Korean. Like I like the language a lot, so I tend to watch like a lot of those ASMR videos. And a lot of the times, like, yeah, they'll be like eating jelly beans or like playing with like a marshmallow or something. If somebody could see that I was watching this, they would be like, "Are you insane?" But it's so normal to us, because I've been aware of this and like kind of a part of this for years, so I don't think about it. But
How long, Becca? I only discovered it, I think, like 8 months ago or something like that.
really,
Mm.
I think I can tell you at least when I posted my first video 3 years ago, but I wasn't very like consistent with making videos. I wasn't even consistent until like this summer because I finally had my own apartment. Like I've always lived with people, so it's really, really hard to make ASMR videos when you live with like 7.
I don't know, Becca. My favourite one so far is I think you're at your folks' house and you start off going, "Shh, everyone's sleeping. Can't wake anyone." And I was just like, okay. I was under the duvet, just
That's
going,
funny.
"Shh." It's a good thing.
I guess when I made them at my parents' house, it was okay because like I'd make them at night when everyone's sleeping. But when I was at college, I always had a roommate, so she would probably think I was insane. She knows about it, but I don't know if I could make them in front of her because she would just be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. What about your
So
folks? Do your folks know about
no,
it?
no.
Would they judge, do you think?
I think at first, honestly, I think my mom, just because she's like very, my parents are great. They're so sweet. But my mom's like a little sensitive, and I think her first thought would be like, is this sexual at all? Just because it does seem, because a lot of people seem to think it is sexual, even though I don't think it is. I mean, that's
It's
like a whole nother.
sensual, isn't it?
Yeah, you could say that, and it's like intimate, but I think she would be like, "Why are you doing this? Why are these like strangers like watching you? You know what I mean?" Like I think she would be concerned, but I think after explaining to them, I think they'd probably understand. But I just don't want to have to do that right now.
Does it not worry you that they might just stumble onto a video and see you doing chewing gum at people?
Oh yeah, it totally worries me, and like I think about it, and like I mean, the more active I am, I plan to continue being like posting at least a video a week because I love doing it. It makes me really happy. And like the more I do that, the more views my videos will get, the more subscribers I'll get. And eventually I don't know if I'll be able to hide it anymore.
Mm.
So that's like a thing that I might eventually have to cross that bridge, but I just like am kind of putting it off. So my boyfriend knows and my best friend knows.
Does your boyfriend, has he got triggers?
I not that he's aware of or that I'm aware of. I want to like sit him down and have him listen to one of those like really long find your trigger videos, because I think he definitely could. He just I don't know if he ever for me like I always had experiences with it since I was a kid. You know what I mean? And I don't know if he's had that. Not so not to our knowledge, but like I want to kind of investigate it more with him and see.
There was a guy came to stay with us a couple of weeks back, and he didn't get it, and he was laughing at it, and he respects us. He was like, "Oh, it's interesting, right?" And we're sitting there going, "Are you sure? Nothing ever?" And at some point, he goes, "Well, you know, Asian women on the phone in call centers occasionally," and we went, "Oh, stick it in YouTube, Asian woman call center A.S.M.R, and there's like 20 of them.
Of
And we
course.
put one on for him, and he's just gone, "Oh." It's like, "Oh yeah, there's your trigger."
I know. When people say that they don't think everyone experiences it, I don't want to believe that. Like I feel like everyone has the ability to.
Mm.
I hope everybody has the ability to. Like that would genuinely be sad for some people, I think, if they couldn't experience it. Because but it's just like we don't know because there's barely any research on it as of right now. I would like to think that like everybody can experience it but maybe just like hasn't found the right thing. I don't know. For me, it was just all the time, like in school. I remember this one girl from Bosnia, and I loved her accent. Every time she would read in English class, I would fall asleep. And just, getting my hair cut and all that stuff like that. So it was always a thing. But, you know,
Do you think it's going to go mainstream?
I think it's starting to. It's what we were talking about earlier, like Russell Brand did a video on it. The Today Show has done 2 videos on it. Tyler Oakley, who's like a huge YouTuber, did a video about it. And what is her name? Michelle Phan, who's also a huge YouTuber. She recently did a video on it. And so I feel like more and more I see it kind of like trickling into the mainstream. People are like, what the hell is this? But I think in the next year or two, it's gonna blow up more, and which is really exciting for me because I want as many people to know about it as possible in case it can help them, and also the more people that know about it, the more normalized it will become, and the less afraid people like you and me will be of telling other people. I guess I think before I made videos, I wasn't hesitant to tell people about it. But then when I started making videos, I was, because I didn't want people to find me. So I think that's pretty much why I wouldn't be shy about it if I just experienced it and watched the videos. But excuse me, I'm just shy about it because I just don't. I'm not ready for that to be a known thing about me, just because so many people don't get it. But I hope the more and more, kind of popularized and normalized it becomes, people will know what it is and they'll be like, oh, you do that, okay, that's not weird.
I'm curious that they're not. There doesn't seem to be any scientific investigation into it.
I know, I know, and whenever I read this, I hear they're starting to, but I don't know anything specific. So, and I've heard people say, well, we don't even know if it's a real thing because there's been no study. And it's yeah, it's a real thing because millions of people are saying they experience it.
Mm.
It's a real thing.
I'm quite
So,
surprised actually because I spent years just having those experiences and sharing them, and people are going, "What are you talking about?"
yeah,
So
I
to
know.
discover so many thousands of people.
It's crazy. And yeah, and I think there's so much to learn about it. Like I said, helping with, different mental illness or just with normal stress, but also, yeah, some people say it helps me focus. Um,
I get both of those things. Like I'm using it to fall asleep too. I never
that's,
had issues sleeping, but it's like it's just nice.
yeah, I feel like I sleep better. Not that I couldn't fall asleep, but I sleep a lot more soundly if I watch an ASMR video before I go to bed.
Oh, I'm doing the work thing as well though. It works for me. Like if I can spend like 10 hours building
That's
websites or
awesome.
whatever.
I think
It,
it probably depends on the type of trigger I was listening to. I guess I've never really tried to do it when I was doing work, but I'd be interested to see. But also, just I'm so curious about the different correlations between people who experience ASMR and what kind of personality types they have. People who are sensitive people, are they more susceptible to it? Stuff, there's so many things that could be studied, and
mm,
it's I yeah, and I know I've heard people are making, someone's supposed to be making a documentary about it. I heard it was in the works, but I haven't heard about anything in a while. I think they were still trying to fundraise. And then there was another short film called what the hell is it called? I can't remember, but a short film about a girl who makes ASMR videos, and she goes on a date and then she has him come over and shows him her little ASMR workshop, and I don't know, but it sounds cute. So
how did you start with the gum chewing?
honestly, I really don't know. It's a weird thing. I mean, my first few videos all had gum chewing in it, and I guess I started doing that because that was a favorite trigger of mine. I just feel like it adds to the whispering. It just adds another layer of sound to it. You know what I mean? I guess that's why I started doing it, and then I just for some reason kept doing it in all of my videos, and then everyone that subscribed to me were people who really, really, really liked that trigger, and they would say like, "Oh, make more gum chewing videos," and that just kind of like became my thing. Like it was kind of an accident how it happened. And then like this summer, I got to the point where there were some people who would send me messages and be like, "I would really like your videos, but I hate the sound of gum chewing." And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, you know, so." But I was like, I'm never gonna not have that be a predominant part of my channel because so many people who subscribe to me and who like have been subscribed to me for like years like really really love that, and I don't want to let them down, I guess. But I also don't want to totally turn off other people, so I've been trying to mix it up a little bit more.
Well, that was how I found you.
Really?
Oh, I originally went looking for whispering, just
Mhm.
before I knew A.S.M.R existed. I
Mhm.
was like, "There's people whispering," I, and I got into it. But I also knew that I'd had that same trigger from listening to my friend eat licorice. Why licorice? I don't know. So I went looking for chewing sounds, and
Mhm.
you were one of the main ones that came up.
That's so funny. Yeah, I love like eat gum or like when people eat gummy bears. I love the sound that makes, like any kind of gummy candy. So it's like a favorite thing of mine. I guess I just like wanted to branch out a little bit more. I'm always gonna like do a ton of gum chewing videos, but I don't want to totally ostracize people because some people can't stand the sound of chewing, which is funny to me.
I'm getting that with a lot of people's responses. It's like certain triggers for some people seems to have the absolute opposite effect on us.
Yes, that's so true. It's weird. Like, what is that? There's some kind of like condition. I think it's called mysophobia. Mice. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like sounds of people whispering or chewing make you angry. They like
Yeah,
make
yeah.
people upset. So some people, yeah, there's certain triggers. I think chewing a lot of the times that like angers them. They hate it so much. So it's weird. I guess I kind of feel that way about really loud crinkling sounds. I'm like, oh, I hate it.
I got the same thing.
It like gives me chills like in a bad way. I don't like it. A friend of mine, when I told her about like that I do this, she was like, I absolutely cannot stand the sound of whispering. If someone whispers near me, I want to punch them in the face. Like it
Mm.
literally makes her angry. It's weird, like it elicits such opposite reactions in people.
When I'm listening to somebody, I'm focusing in on where the trigger points are, and it's the it's not the sibilance of the whisper, it's the certain tiny little wet mouth sounds. It's the same with the gum chewing as well.
I know. It's so strange. Like, it's so weird. I don't know, like, what triggers certain people. And a lot of times, like, for me at least, it's not just about, like, the actual sound. It's, like, what the person is talking about and, like, the inflection they have on things.
Mm.
And a lot of the times, this is why I like Charlotte Fairy Char. She is just a super positive person, and she's always, like, really happy and like sweet and like just so positive and like optimistic. And when someone is talking about stuff like that, like happy things, and they're trying to trigger ASMR, the reaction is so much stronger for
Mm.
me.
Mm.
And I think that's probably true for a good amount of other people. Another thing that I'm so interested in is the effect of it on kids, because I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, my kids watch ASMR videos and like it knocks them out." You know like how hard it is to put kids to sleep, and I think I think it'd be really interesting to see. And like I've heard people who like have kids who are like on the autism spectrum, how that really helps them like calm down. So it's cool. It's
Mm.
really cool. And I feel like it could. I don't know. I feel like it kind of could make you more creative, and I feel like it really has a lot of positive effect. We just don't, we only have anecdotal evidence at this point,
Mm.
but a shit ton of anecdotal evidence.
I'm very curious. I hope they do explore it. I want to know what it is. It's like, is it a frequency thing?
Maybe I really like it's just so weird to me. And some people say compare it to like chills you get when you listen to music, which is a great feeling, but it's not like that. It's different.
Mm.
I don't know. It's I don't know, but that's why I'm excited that like, important people are talking about it now, because then maybe, it'll finally get enough attention where like they do some substantial research on it. A lot of people feel more insecure about telling other people about it, you know what I mean? Because they're afraid that people are going to think it's weird, or people are going to think it's sexual. Like that's a fear for me, is that people are going to think it's like a sexual thing. Because I mean, there are some more I've observed, like people doing more like adult content ASMR
Yeah.
lately, um, which I don't have a problem with. Like whatever you want to do, you do it. I just like, I hope people know that there's a distinction, that ASMR isn't inherently sexual. If you want to mix together like sexuality and ASMR, go for it. Like, but I think it's a cool idea. I think it can be like really interesting, and I'm sure like very powerful. But I just hope people don't think it's all a sexual thing.
Mm. Yeah. Tricky.
That's what I think. There was like I mean, there's been like a million debates like on some of the ASMR Facebook pages about like this one girl in particular. Like her channel is incredibly sexual, and people are pissed
In
off about.
what manner is it incredibly sexual?
I'm like a very firm feminist. Like I am totally supportive of whatever a woman wants to do with her body and like to express herself sexually. That's awesome. So I'm not like, criticizing her, but a lot of people do criticize her because she like basically she doesn't show her eyes. She shows from like here down,
Mm.
and she makes some like normal videos, mostly eating videos, and they're actually really good, and I really like them. But then she'll do videos in a bra or like totally see-through shirt, and she'll, you know, say like kind of dirty things and eat a popsicle in like an incredibly suggestive
Mm.
manner. It's kind of like watching softcore porn, basically. Which I like. I am not criticizing her, but a lot of people are real mad about it. The more constructive criticism is that like ASMR is not sexual. She's just trying to like draw attention to her videos by having her tits out or whatever. This is not me saying this, is other people, but
Mm.
and it's kind of like cheap. People are saying that she's just trying to get views basically by like being slutty, and she's giving ASMR a bad name, blah blah blah. So, but I
Mm.
think that's why a lot of people like in the community are pissed about it, because they're afraid that it's going to give it a bad name.
It's tricky, isn't it? It's a tricky one.
It is tricky, because at first I was like, I don't want people to look at her videos that say ASMR, and then me tell them, oh yeah, I do ASMR, and they're like, oh, so you do that? You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I just said like, maybe there should be some kind of distinction. Just have the word adult in front of the video or something. Adult ASMR. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
just some kind of distinction, like, so people know like not all ASMR is like that. Again, I think it's fine to combine different elements. I mean, people get really creative with ASMR now. So it's like, it's her body, whatever she wants to do. But she's definitely made a lot of people really angry. And I know YouTube took her channel down.
I really.
Yeah.
It was that like strong content.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty bad. Like, I mean, some of the videos, like her shirt is so see through, you can pretty much see her nipples. Like, which again, I don't give a shit. But I think so many people like flagged it. They had to take it down, but then they put it back up. So I don't really know what the point of taking it down was.
Mm.
But she's just, I mean, if you go watch, you'll know what I mean. She's just,
What's her name?
it's Hungry Lips.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing is, I actually like this Hungry Lips person. Her videos trigger me a lot, whether I like it or not. Like, they really
Okay.
do, because, she has a really good voice. She's very, like, kind of, like, soft about, like, how she moves. And, like, I do, like, eating sounds and stuff like that. So, she's good at it.
Mm.
And so I was saying, like, I like popsicle sounds and lollipop sounds, but I don't know if I'd ever do a video like that, because I feel like I would attract a lot of like gross weirdos to my channel, you know what I mean? And I just don't. I saw some woman posted a video that she made in one of the like ASMR groups on Facebook and was like, I want, feedback. And a video just made me laugh so hard because like what's his name? Ephemeral. I don't know how to fully pronounce it. Ephemeral riff,
Ephemeral.
ephemeral. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a video of her like it's very sexual, but again, the sounds it made, they were good sounds, so whatever. But like, it was basically her playing with a watermelon. It was probably the most sexual ASMR video I've ever seen. And then at the end, she just like looks at the camera and is like, "This video is dedicated to him, whatever, however you pronounce his name." And then she just like smiles and it's over.
What's she doing with the watermelon?
Oh, she was like, I mean, some of it, she like had it on a table and she was like licking it and like stroking it and like literally like fingering it. Like it was really
But it's
dirty.
triggering.
Yes, it did. And I was like, am I a sicko? Like, but the sounds it made were like really nice sounds that made me, I like passed out after I watched it. So I was like, hey, you did a good job. Like, and maybe it would turn some people on. It didn't have that effect on me. And I felt a little weird for like experiencing ASMR from it. The fingering sounds were a little bit much for me, but
I can go one worse. I'm not into porn. It's never done anything for me. But I've actually put on blowjob videos and not to watch them and just shut my eyes. And the sounds are just fucking. It doesn't get any better than that for me.
that's
It's
hilarious.
true.
That's so
It's true.
funny. Maybe I'll try that.
You got to get the
See,
right blowjob.
yeah, okay. It can't be like a deep, like a gagging one. That's gross, you know?
What we were saying before, it's got to be authentic. It's got to be a good blowjob. She's got to
Oh
want to
yeah.
do it.
Oh yeah. A lot of porn, if you can tell it's so fake, it's just like, ew, this is gross. I don't want to watch this. Or if it's like
Yep.
way over the top, it's like just stop. If you
Yep.
like that, you probably like the popsicle videos because they make really nice sounds. But you're watching it and you're like, am I watching porn or am I trying to go to bed? Like it's very confusing. It like gave me almost like a moral dilemma when I was watching it. Again, it's like it's caused an interesting debate though. You know what I mean? Like where do you draw the line?
I guess you just got to trust your own compass.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe those women are pioneers. Maybe in the future there will be like a whole section of like ASMR porn. I don't know. I totally think there could be something to it, like,
Mm.
and I mean, ASMR is really like an art. I mean, especially like now I mean, I feel like when it first started, it was like, kind of just basic, like people with their kind of crappy cameras, just like whispering and like doing whatever. But now, like, some people have all these special effects,
Yeah.
and like, it's crazy. Like, I mean, it makes this stuff, I mean, like, my stuff compared to like other people's stuff, it looks like they could like win an Oscar for it. Do you know what I mean? It's like what's her name? ASMR Request, you know her?
Hmm. Hmm.
Allie, I think her name is. Like, she has great. Her videos are crazy. Like, she has all these special effects. She uses like a green screen. Like, it's
Hmm.
legit. It's like
I,
really, really.
I'm bored by it. I,
That's the
I just,
thing.
I've got like, I don't know, let's say 30 ASMR things in a playlist,
Yeah.
and the high rotation actually, because I like it when it's really just creamy production and beautiful sound, and you've got the binaural
Mhm.
microphones. But I'm coming back to yours and another couple more,
Mhm.
and yeah, there's a lot of white noise and stuff, but it's like, yeah, but the actual quality of the trigger is more important than the
I
quality of the
know.
sound.
I know what you mean, and I'm very impressed by like those types of videos that obviously took so much like editing and work and effort. Like, I'm so impressed by them. I don't find myself watching them a lot though,
Mm,
just because like I honestly I know role plays are super popular, and that's why like I've started making them and they're really fun to make.
mm,
But I never watch them, and I never watch videos that like are super like have all these special effects and like stuff, because I guess it is, I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing them because it's just not my taste.
mm,
It's clearly like other people's taste and it's very impressive, but like I don't know what it is. I guess I just like it when people just kind of are like act like themselves and they just are more candid. I
yeah.
guess it's the candid part of it that I like.
I'm curious about the ones who they're going into like it's almost speaking in tongues with gum chewing.
Oh, they like kind of do like inaudible whispering.
Yeah, like really strange sounds. No, I'm just I don't know if that's triggering me or if I'm just like that's just cool that they're willing to do that on
Yeah,
video in
I
front of
know.
thousands of people.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy like the variety of stuff there is out there. Like it's I don't know. Like yeah, I saw a girl eating like chicken wings the other day and I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." And there was like tons of people like commenting on it just like, "How did I get here? How did I get to this part of the internet?" This
Yeah,
girl is just like not speaking, just like eating chicken wings.
it is. It's like the dark web without actually going into the dark web.
Yeah.
It's coming
And
up
it's
to the surface.
yeah, it's actually very innocent, but it just seems like so weird.
Mm,
So weird. So, I get when people are like confused by it, but I hope there becomes just more of a knowledge of it, like more of an acceptance of it, so it's not as weird. But I get when people poke fun at things. It's like, what are you
mm. It's true. I don't know if I'm ever going to get used to it. I'm sitting there listening to this Korean girl eating jelly, and I'm just like, this is just weird. There's no two ways about it. It's
I
strange.
know. Yeah, sometimes I like fall asleep listening to it. My boyfriend will be like, "This is like," he can kind of hear it through my headphones, and he's just like, "This is so," like he totally like is cool with it and he thinks it's really interesting, but he's like doesn't really get it. He's like, I don't. But I mean, he falls asleep listening to music, so it's just different. It's about what you like. Like if I'm listening to music when I go to bed, I get kind of distracted.
Mm.
I don't know why. I just like pay way too close attention to like the lyrics. Like I don't know. But I like to listen to other languages when I'm falling asleep because then I don't know what they're saying and I don't get distracted by what they're saying.
Yeah, I've got Finnish, Danish, Spanish, Italian, African, Russian. I've got tons.
I like what's her name? Cute Bunny. She like speaks in Greek. Oh no,
She's
she's
great.
so good. I cannot wait to see like what the future holds for it. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
it's I can't imagine what like it's I don't know. I mean, there's like like scary kind of ASMR. Like people will be a scary character, or they'll like do a kidnapping video.
I
Those are
watched the kidnapping video. I was just going, what?
oh
The
no,
fuck?
there's like look it up. There's like several of them. I don't watch them. I kind of watch them because they're like amusing. Like I don't really watch them because they trigger me. They're just like kind of like oh, do you know Lilium? I like her a lot. She did like a Walking Dead themed one. And she like they like pretended they were hiding out in like some cabin.
Was it good?
Um
Did it
it
trigger?
was it was actually it was good. It was like I didn't like love to watch it before bed though because it was like it was like scary. You know what I mean? Like the content that she was talking about was kind of scary. Um, I'm curious to ask you: do you listen to like any male ASM artists? Or you?
Oh no, it's really. I've tried. I've found a few guys who I can feel that there's a quality in them,
Yeah,
but I have to like, I lie down, I've
yeah.
got big studio headphones, so it's just like
Mm-hmm.
such full sound. And
Mm-hmm.
after 3 minutes, it's making my skin crawl. I'm like, oh, gotta get out of there. I don't
That's so
like it.
That's the thing. I mean, I'm dating a guy. I would say that I am attracted to guys, but I never ever I only watch women.
Mm,
And I don't know if like part of it is like kind of a nurturing thing.
mm,
Do you know what I mean? Like you feel like someone's kind of like taking care of you and it's just more of a feminine quality.
mm,
But it tends to like freak me out. I don't like watching. I don't know what it is. It like freaks me out. That's another thing that really interests me is like, you know, the more like I learn, I guess, about energy and like start noticing how, in person, how like you can feel other people's energy and like feel
mm,
how other people are feeling. And, how you say, like, oh, that person is giving me a bad vibe or a good vibe or whatever. Like, I feel like, it's similar um, to ASM artists. Like, there have been times that I've been watching a video And I've just been like, I don't know why, but I feel like when this person made this video, they were in a bad mood.
Mm.
I don't know why, even though they're not saying anything about it. I just like get a weird feeling that they weren't in a good mood and I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I think people can pick up on other people's energy from through a video. I really do, even if they don't consciously notice it. But that's a really interesting thing about it too.
I mean, that's reality for me. It's an interesting thing about reality. It's like every little interaction, everything, what people are saying is like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't mean to be rude, but 99% of the time sounds like bullshit to me.
Oh, I know, I know. Yep, I totally know what you mean. The more you like start realizing that like everything is made up of energy,
I really thought you were going to say made up of bullshit. Things
oh,
made of bullshit.
basically everything is made up of bullshit. I mean, a lot of stuff is total bullshit, though, is the thing. Like, a lot of people are totally full of shit. Like, it's just like a fact of life, I guess. But, everything is made up of energy, even like, people's emotions and like their thoughts and stuff. I mean, that's just like what I believe